Hello everybody, this is Barcode, and this is a tour of my 6-ish-year-old Minecraft server. There are a couple other people that play on here, but most of what you're going to see is created by me. It's about 6 years old. I don't know exactly how long it is. Here it shows that I'm just under 36,000 days, though a lot of that is AFK, so I don't know how much of that is actually my playtime. But I've been in this world for quite a bit. So yeah, here's a tour. This is the spawn location for the world. It used to be over here where this village is, and actually right in there. But for whatever reason, through one of the updates, it changed it, and now the spawn location is here. No idea why that happened, but this is what it is. And just to let you know, you're about to see the world's most unfinished projects ever. So let's go. So this is one side of my survival base. This is just a little small entrance base, just a small setup, nothing major going on here. That's an iron farm over there. I have a few of them. There's not really a whole lot of going on here. A few fields, just a couple buildings. I'm really bad with interiors, so you're going to see a lot of buildings with no interiors whatsoever. Yeah. So yep, that's this part. And then if you head on inside, once again, I'm working on a project here that is only partially done. This is my zoo. I have quite a few ones that are empty still, but I do have some frogs in here. In my frog enclosure, I do still need to get the two other colors from the different biomes. And then I have a couple pigs in here. I should have a couple. Oh, did we lose one? Oh. Apparently I lost a pig. So there's that. We have one. He's lonely. Over here, provided I didn't lose anything, I should have horses, donkeys, mules, cows. I think I have 2 of each. I got real original with the names. Yep. Yep. In case you don't know what they are, you're welcome. Alright. Then down over here, I have 2 armadillos. They get scared until I go by. So that's them. I do have normal foxes in here, no Arctic foxes yet. I do have another enclosure for them. Yeah, I have a few in here. They just sleep all the time. Here I have a building for my lays. Right now they're kind of just chilling. I know these aren't your typical mobs, but I did put some snowmen in here. Nothing major decorated, so I'm going to do some stuff in there. Not sure what I want to do yet, but that's them. I have some odd sheep in here. I have changed colors. Yep. Down in here, I have my aquarium, which right now I currently only have some sea turtles in here. I haven't brought anything else yet. I do have a few of them. I don't know how many. I think I have like 4 or 5. There's that. This way, I have a couple parrots, and then just some tropical fish in here. I tried to get, I don't have one of everything because there's a ton of them, but I at least tried to get all different ones just for this small display. If we go back up here, show you some of the other enclosures. This is probably going to be quite a long video. There's a lot to go through over here. Down here we have some polar bears. Not sure why they're all in the corner. I only brought back 4 of them, I think. Yep, and they're all over there. So I don't know what they're doing, but I got polar bears there. I have a camel who's out of place. He should be over there with the other camel. Nothing in there yet besides him. I don't know what I'm going to put in that one yet. Over here I have bees, all the beehives set up. And this one over here I have sniffers, and then a zombie spawned in gold armor, so I tagged him and he's just there now. He just chills. The rest of them. And over here I have a few different variants of the wolves. Still have not gotten all of them yet, and I'll probably end up moving these ones to a bigger enclosure. But I have, looks like 3 different kinds so far. Yeah, that's what I got so far. And then in this one I have a couple striders. I had to put glass over because the first time I brought them back, it rained and they died. It's purple. And then over in this enclosure, I have quite a few pandas. I don't think I have any of the rare ones yet. Definitely no brown one yet, and I don't even think I have any of the panda. I don't think I have any of the, yeah, no, these are just your normal pandas. I think I just brought a couple back and then bred them. And yeah, I'll have to try and get a brown one and a couple of the other variants soon too. And yeah, I think the only thing left I have so far that's actually got some in it is down here. I just have a couple chickens. So yeah, that's the zoo so far. Still a lot of work to do, but that's where we're at. And I did forget to show you. I just have a small map over here of it. It's pretty tiny, but that's enough. And then this is just pink house with rainbows all around that my daughter wanted. So that's been added. Alright. Next we come here into the next section of my base. I have a horse. I don't know if he's trapped, but he's there. I don't really have much going on here. I just built a few buildings here, a couple houses. Again, I'm terrible with interiors, so there's a little bit done, but not a whole lot. It's mostly empty. One of these days I will try to come back through and do interiors, but so far that has not happened. There's a horse in that house. Yep. Yeah. Some of these, again, not a whole lot. A random frog over here. I had a frog enclosure, and then lightning struck it and burned half of it down, and a bunch of frogs escaped. So I just left them on the plate, and I just randomly come across them sometimes. Out over here, I made a stable of sorts. I have a stable over here. I just added this. I don't know. I just kind of built stuff here. Some of this, because this is one of my more interior ones, I probably got some inspiration from some of the YouTubers I watch, like Flip or Mythical sausage, but I don't think I fully copied somebody. At least I tried not to. If this looks familiar to anybody and you recognize who it is, let me know. But yeah, I do like this build. It's kind of cool. Have a few horses in here, a couple donkeys. Over here I just had a bunch of melons and pumpkins just hanging out. Nothing much this way yet. Let's go ahead and sleep because it's dark already. That is my main castle, I guess. I don't know what I want to call it yet. As you can see, it's very unfinished. I don't have much of anything done on the inside of it, except I do have this map floor, which does show a lot of the base. This is the castle where we're at. So as you can see, I have quite a few. This is the yep, we'll turn to the side. This is the zoo that I was just at. Those were those buildings we just walked by. Here's the main castle. And yeah, there's still a lot to look at. Sorry for the stuttering. I'm playing on a 13-year-old computer. So I don't know how it's holding up, but it works for now. Down here is one of the first few things I built. I've never torn down any of my old stuff to update it, so a lot of this being my early stuff on this is just kind of how I built when I got started on here. I haven't gotten that much better over the years, but at least I've gotten a little bit better than this, but yeah, this is where I started. I don't even know how a lot of these are still here, but they're here. This was my first village, if you want to call it. I literally just copied the basic square houses from some of the villages that show up. Yeah, I tried to mix them up, but they're all very terrible. And again, even as small as these are not much on the interiors. If I come over this way, I did originally have a map wall here, but that's been moved to the floor. I do still have a couple others. These are just different sizes. My friend actually put these here. I did not do these. Again, I do at some point want to do something in here, but not sure what. Probably like a small village or something. Here I have, this is the center point to my main castle. There's a sugarcane farm here. Old. I will go to the nether portal at nether hub at some point. It's alright. It's a nether hub. It's not very good, but it's what we use. This goes down after they added down to deep slate. This goes down there. I haven't done a ton down there, so I don't know if I'll go down there. Maybe. Like I said, you're going to see a lot of unfinished projects. This was going to be some sort of mining facility, and I was going to have like fake nether portals on each one and do like different biomes inside. I haven't done that yet. I would like to come back at some point and do that. This is mined all the way down to bedrock, and that's with the new update, so down past the deep slate. But past this level, there's not much down there. We go back here, go out this side. I just have some crops over here. These haven't been used in a very long time. This was one of my early stable builds. Very, very basic. I did eventually come back in and add this library. That's what I was going for here. once again, it's a common theme. It's not fully finished yet. I just need to get a bunch of bookshelves from villagers for the most part, and then I did want to have a lot of my enchanting books put in these. Right now, though, I think these are just regular books. And then I did make this clock tower in front. It just kind of takes me to each level. And it should take me to the top. Yep. Still gotta finish putting an enchantment table up here. Yeah. There's that. Like I said, there's a lot of unfinished stuff in here, but that's one of the things. Down here, I just made a building kind of assembling carts. All of my roads are just very basic packed dirt or whatever this is called. Path block. And then if I come back this way, just has some bees, some trees, a building I'm currently working on. This is set up and automatically gathers honeycomb for me in case I need it. I don't use a ton of that yet. At some point I will. This, I kind of got inspiration from Wax Fraud, if anybody has watched him. It's very good, very detailed. Mine looks very bad in comparison. But I did get this inspiration from him. The rest of this, I don't know from where. This has storage, this is where I love my dirt. Dirt. This says, yeah, sand. I don't know yet what I want to fill all these with. I do gotta fill out the rest of the chests. Yeah, I just have a purple house. Pretty terrible. And just a small farm for those. Back over this way, I just have a couple buildings here. And then back here, I do have, I don't know if I would really call it a cow farm. It's not like automated or anything, but I do have my cows back here. When I need some leather and stuff, I do breed them up and then take them out. My leather and yeah. That's about it. Just chilling there. Nothing much on the second floor. Per usual. I do have this area over here, which again, I need to finish filling this in with lava. I don't know what I was going for here, some sort of forge. But then all I ended up turning this into is down here, I just have a couple different cobblestone generators. And yes, it's just stone down here. Very ugly. Yeah. Over on this side, I do have a bit of a farming area. I do have this building here connected to the wall. I have a couple windmills here. I do believe these designs I just found off of Google and changed them up a little bit to make them mine, but some of this, like I think the bottom part I did kind of get mostly from Google. I don't remember who. I apologize. Over here I have a few different fields. I have I think those are orange tulips. I got sunflowers. This is a wheat field. I have a lot of scarecrows around. I don't know why. I just went ham. I got beets, carrots, potatoes over here. This one I think is all potatoes. I got my pumpkins over here. Yep, melons over there, and then a few different of the tall flowers that way. And yeah, another windmill. It's just a small boat dock. Nothing fancy. Again, interior severely lacking. And yeah, that's all this side. I do have a track over there that goes, and it goes about 10,000-ish blocks in one direction. I have a cave like 35,000 blocks out that I eventually want to connect that to, but it is very long and I'm not going in a straight line. It does zigzag a lot and it has stops along the way. So that is something I will eventually connect up, but that is going to take me a very long time. Go up over here, back to the main castle. I'm going to show some of those. Keep redstone in this one. This one has my lava farm. And then I also have cauldron set up on top because it snows in this area, as you can tell, so I collect the powdered snow. I haven't really used that for anything yet, but I do have that. Down over here, I just have some trees, a couple hot air balloons randomly. This is the lava area. Oh, I have a super smelter through here. Down under here, I have my lava set up. And then down here, I just have this. This, I think this was, I don't remember what this was. Oh, I think this was a seagrass farm? It was a seagrass farm. He's stuck in there. I don't know what he's doing. I don't even know where he came from. This is another house, which I don't think really has anything in it, but I did try to make this one a bit more detailed. I was starting to get somewhat better. It's got a little bit of interior, but still pretty basic. This was my potato farm back when we could farm cook the potatoes for XP. I don't think that works anymore. If it does, somebody can let me know in the comments. Just gonna sleep. This is another rail. I have rails going throughout my entire base connecting everything for the most part, and it does come to a central hub, which I'll show in a second. This house I set up to be for my potion brewing stands. As you can see, much like most of my other stuff, it's unfinished. I only did 3 sections here. I think I did this when I was, the invisibility I think was when I was going to go clear out an ocean monument, and then night vision just because use that for caving and stuff. This was one of the first village things I set up to trap all my villagers. Absolutely horrible looking, all oak. But like I said, I don't really like to tear down my stuff, so it's here as just a reminder of at least some of the improvements I've made since then. But yeah, some of them are still here. A lot of the villagers have disappeared. Not even sure why or how, but still a couple in there. Back over this way. This is where one of the rails comes, and it comes to this central hub that I have here. It honestly just meets up there. It's nothing special. I want to turn that into some sort of like storage room. Here was a kelp, I think it was just a bone meal farm with the kelp. Same with this one over here. I think both of those ended up breaking over time. This is just some storage. This I just have a mini map room, so it's a little bit more detailed. I do think I have to update this. But yeah, it's at least somewhat more detailed than the zoomed out map that I have for the main floor. Here I have just this. Some of the minecarts come in this side, some come in this side, and then this one, once I finish it, will go out and it goes up there and connects into the main castle. Yeah, pretty empty for the most part. So yeah, I have different rails going that way, this way. This was a building I made as like a barracks, kind of. I made this after the... I can't get around this wall. Alright. That was another thing I was really bad at the beginning. I made walls everywhere, really tight. It was a pain to get through.
This was supposed to be like barracks. I did set up this. I don't know why I have so many torches when I have lanterns on the ceiling. But yeah, torch spam was apparently my thing a while ago. I did try to make this somewhat detailed down here in my own way. Very basic. Pumpkins, watermelons. Pretty terrible. Up here, I think I just had a bunch of beds. Originally, I was going to put a bunch of villagers in every part of the area, but then I didn't want them all to die or get loose, so there's that. Oh, one thing I forgot to show up in the castle is here is my general mob farm up there. Everything comes down there and funnels into that. As you can see, that's the map floor is down there. This is the second floor that I eventually would like to turn into a huge storage floor. I'm going to add other floors, but I have no idea what I'm going to do in this giant empty box. And I still have a lot more to add on top. So that's going to be a very big project at some point someday, but apparently I just keep expanding everywhere else to put it off. Alright, if I go down over here, I do have an arena type thing that I set up. It's pretty ugly, not very good looking. I was turning this down into here once I eventually finish it into Leaf Spleef, which if I'm not mistaken, I think I got inspiration from Kobblestone from the Hermitcraft series. I don't know for sure if that's who it was, but I believe so. Somebody again can correct me in the comments. So there's that. This just connects down over here. And then this is one of the first villager areas I set up. A ton of villagers. I do like to let my villagers roam. I don't like to set them up in rooms just trapped. I did start to do that at the beginning, but I hated it, so I let most of them free. There's some still just sit there. I'll show you that. Well, actually, I'll show you that now. I don't want them getting over to this section, so that's why I got that. This is just the main wall around my center castle, and it just connects here. This will eventually be in some sort of underground thing, not sure yet. If I come around this way, this goes to my nether hub, but then if you keep walking that way, the center point here goes there. This is just another walkway that goes down to Deep Slate. There's nothing really special down here. This village. This was when I was starting to get at least a little better. And this is when Deep Slate was added, so this became my primary roof of choice. I have this on a lot of my roofs now. I did try and do some diagonal buildings. Much like the rest of my stuff, they're not that great looking, but they're there. I did try to create a little pond in the middle. This was at least somewhat inspired by Wex Frog. He's a lot more detailed than I am, but I did try to add some of that in there. Yeah. I do have some bees over here. I did do another stable for horses that I don't actually have any in here. This goes off over to, I do have a bit of a harbor over there. I will show that here in a minute. And yeah, oh, down under here, I do have my villager breeder for this area. They spawn in there, the babies come out here. Normally would. It looks like they didn't do that for a while, so I have several villagers in there, but they would go down there and go down that tunnel, and then, provided they actually went down there like they're supposed to, they actually come up through this water here, and it pushes them here, and then eventually they work their way up, and then yeah, they're just running around here. Again, some of these have a little bit of interiors in here, but nothing special. I did add a few carts to have my crafting tables around. I did create this building here, and down in here, I do have one of my moss farms, which this was an older one. I don't even know if it still works. Somehow he wandered down here and got stuck in the mine cart. It didn't work at one point. He's just chill now. Come back up
this way, I do have a bit of a church, I guess. I don't know. This is where I store most of my copper is in here. And yeah, there's not much else in here. Once cherry trees came out, I did add those random parts throughout my base. Just randomly, I don't know. They're just all over the place. Thought it was nice to bring a different color into the trees. Down here is where I do most of my tree farming. I have one automatic tree farm that's mostly just worked for oak that I have down under my base somewhere. So most of mine I farm manually here. Right now, mostly spruce is what I usually farm. But I do have most of the things labeled here for the different wood types, so I kind of just farm them as I need them. But spruce, as you can probably tell from the very start of this, is spruce is my favorite wood type. I have it pretty much on everything. It's easy to farm, and yeah, I use it a ton. Down over this way, I have where I collect most of my stone and other stuff. Down here is where I go mining. I put water down the top, so when I want to go down, I just jump down there. I do also have water elevators in here. This one is to go down, this one is to go up, and they take you down to the very bottom. Just have a couple cranes here. This is just for decoration, it leads to nowhere. Like that. There is a zombie somewhere under here. I don't know where he's at. I couldn't find him. He just makes a lot of noise. He's annoying. But yeah, he's there. If I go down this way, I wish all these farms are all with the float in the sky. So again, I have the rail that connects out here. This is my harbor of sorts. It's again not completed. I need to finish a couple buildings here. Not very detailed either, but I do have that. This rail goes here, this one goes out that way, loops around, and eventually that'll go to an ocean monument once I clear it. I did replicate one of the default Minecraft ships. I try to keep stuff kind of in line with the default Minecraft setting. As you guys can probably tell, I don't do a whole lot of texturing because I like the way the default Minecraft style looks. So this is just a full rebuild of the normal ships you see on the ocean, and then I just put the sails on it with the flag of my base, which I have over there and up there. And yeah, not much out here. So I did do that. So now to the farms. I do have a copper farm. Drown spawn on the top, they come down here. I believe I got this from Silent Whisper, I think. I don't know, I think it was him. This way, this used to be one of my gold farms. It was a quadruple gold farm. I have a newer one that I use that I'll show you soon. That was an old General Marb farm that I just built off of a from like 10 plus years ago, and it's terrible, it does not work, and me being the lazy person I am, I did not tear it down. This is my gunpowder farm, my creeper farm. I do need to replenish my rockets real quick, sorry about that. Should have done that earlier, but here we go. I do eventually want to turn these into floating islands and try and hide some of this stuff. That's what it is. If I come down this way, there's the tree farm we just had. And down here is another section of base. This one I did try to make it even more detailed than I was in the past. Again, deep slate ruse I use a lot now. When the cherry wood was added, I went ahead and made that smaller section there, just out of the cherry wood. I thought it looked nice.
So I did do that. This one I do have a bunch of villages running around. They're just kind of walled off in this section. Over here, this building with the moss roof does hold my other moss farm. It does still work. Down here at the bottom. That's all I got down here, but if I need moss, I do come down here and use that for a little bit. Yeah, just a little pond. I do have, where are they? There's a couple boats in here, and yep, I just got chickens in my boats. Yeah, they've been stuck there for, I don't know, probably a few thousand days now. And here I just have, I guess I would call this an inn, I don't know. Just for a lot of the villagers to chill. It's this side of the base. If I go back this way, this lava here was put by my friend a very long time ago. I never bothered taking it out, so that's kind of just part of it now. Down here I do have a small barn that is housing the mushrooms. I don't have a brown one yet, I will get that, and I do want to move some of them over to the zoo over there so they can be part of that. Much like that other section you saw, I did add this once the cherry wood came out and the trees. I just thought it would look nice. I do have the river that comes through here, so I just kind of kept that. In here, I have a bunch of sniffers in there. I do have a section that is an actual farm, and so they collect the seeds and then it comes down into here. Over here, this is the enclosure I had for the frogs. I did rebuild it back up, but this is the one that caught on fire from lightning, and then frogs got everywhere, so I had to capture some of them and rebreed a few. So I have that. This was going to be my aquarium before I made it in the other area, and then I just have a couple, yep, there are a couple axolotls in here. There's another section behind it that I haven't turned into anything yet. I just have a few buildings to make just a small village, I guess. If I come down here, this is another hole that's dug all the way down to bedrock, and I have an iron, let me show you that actually. I do have an iron farm in this building. I think I got this from Jay's, Jay's something, I'm all of a sudden drawing the blank. He does a lot of the bedrock farms, very good. Every farm I've made of his has worked perfectly. So that in there, and that comes to that section I just showed below. Yep, all this collects all my iron. There's my chicken farm that I use a lot. I do have back this way through this doorway, I have a bamboo farm that broke unfortunately, but when it was working, it did bring it all into here. Now I have a much quicker one with the bone meal and stuff, so that clicks there. In that back, there was a walkway over there, but it also connects over here. I was starting to collect all the animals in here. I was going to do this before I decided to make the actual zoo. So that's no longer being worked on, at least for now. This tunnel just goes to my main base for the main castle over that way. And then if I come down here, this is a pretty water elevator that is kind of tricky to get to. So I have a cactus farm in here that funnels into here. I do have up in here, there was a skeleton spawner with a tinted glass, so I did turn that into that, and that gets funneled into here. And then if I get down, actually, sorry, hold on, wrong. If I come this way, I actually have a quicker elevator that goes down to, well, I say quicker, but it's just quicker because it goes straight there instead of
different floors. I don't remember that. I don't know if I've turned that floor into anything yet. So it brings me up here. This is my, oh, that second floor actually, yeah, that's what that was. That second floor above this is my quad gold farm. And it drops, so that floor above is the gold farm. It drops them into here, and that's the kill chamber. I don't know why, but sometimes they glitch out of here and kill me, so I have that room to set up in there. If I go up here, this is how you can see that second room. See, there's the quad farm. It all gets turned on by a lever that's right down here. So I flip that, follows this up, and turns all those on. And then I come down here and activate this to kill them all. And then these I do actually have all separated. They go up these water elevators. And right now I only have one side of this done, this side over here, because I actually didn't need both sides like I first thought, so I just have them connected into this one. And then here it separates all my gold, rotten flesh. Over here I think I have gold. No, I have rotten flesh for a bunch of these. Oh yeah, here we go. Gold nuggets, and I think it's that one. Yeah, I guess these are all gold nuggets. So I do have that, and then over here, any of the swords they come through and smelt over here, so that'll turn into gold nuggets as well. And then to fuel all this, I have another lava farm down here. I just come down here, collect it with buckets, and put it up in here, and that feeds over to that. So yeah, I think that covers everything. That's just where I was mining out some deep slate. Take this back. Alright, so that's all in that section. Now, if I come back this way, again, this is the building here I was working on as I finished. This whole thing here, I just have as a waterway. I don't even know why I made that, but I have that going that way. I think there's another part of it that goes out that way. And that actually connects over comes out here, there's the wall. And then I have another harbor over here where the river comes in. This is, very ugly looking, and like I said, I'm not the best builder, so it all looks kind of whack. There's the main larger wall surrounding my castle up there. And yeah, there's a moat that goes around the whole thing. It's all even, all the way around. And yeah, covers that. That's where it was before. There's the town section I showed you. Looking down here. Back here, this used to be a normal village, and I tore everything down over in this section and rebuilt everything, including this church. Again, some of these were inspired by people on YouTube over the years, and I unfortunately should have taken down their names, but I didn't. So again, if this is anything you recognize, let me know in the comments. Yeah, I just have a bunch of buildings in here for different villagers. I don't have any farms in this section, so it's mostly just a bunch of buildings for the most part. I did try to make them a little different. I lied. I do have a sugarcane farm back here that I made out of copper for some reason. I think I just had a bunch of copper from doing one of the new trial chambers, and so I just brought that back, built it, and turned it into that for some reason. I do have a nether portal up in there that connects to the nether hub, and then back here I just have an inn of sorts. The second floor doesn't really have much to it, but I did try and at least somewhat decorate down here. Like a bar. Pretty terrible. But yeah, there's that. This in here is just a wheat field. Over this way, I think I have like an archery range. Yeah, over there. One more building up
and then back here, this building, I don't know why I put it way over here, but this is what I chose to do. I do have this building for armor trimmers that I still need to get a bunch. I only have these ones for now. Yeah, so that's also a work in progress, getting that. And yeah, that's that. So now I will go into the, let's see, I'll go into the Nether Hub. So you can see how terrible I was at building that. I don't even feel like I have that much here in the Nether, so I don't know why it takes so long, but it does. Just keep waiting. Just keep waiting. Wait. Yeah, this is taking its sweet time. If you guys are enjoying the tour, please consider liking and subscribing. I'm new to this whole YouTube thing, so yeah. Alright, that's a while. Alright, so I do have some of the stuff labeled. That takes me to a very old iron farm. That I don't use anymore. I did show you the one that I do use now. This is my main hub. So this center part goes to the center base that I showed, the center of my castle. And I don't know if you noticed at each end of the main wall to my base, I had a portal in each direction, and so these connect to that, so it just helps me travel around a little bit faster. At least that was before I got the Elytra. I do have some of my stuff labeled here. Guardian Farm. We have a gold farm that way, which I don't use anymore. I do have the witch farm. Creeper farm, which was that one floating in the sky, which I don't use that anymore since I have the general mount farm in the base. If I go up this way, I do have 4 pillars on each side. That does take me up to this level. And then I do have some of the, what are these piglins? I think in here it's a bargain with. If I press this button, they all get a gold ingot. And after a couple seconds, they will drop it to the hopper below them, and that'll go into the chest. So I do have these to barter with. In these directions, these lead to different sections of the world I've gone to explore. I haven't built much of anything, so they just kind of go there. And then this one, I have built a few things that way, but they're just small stuff, nothing crazy. And so I just have the ice pathway there. Go back down here, and then I continue. I do have just this section down here. I don't know what I was planning to do with this. It's very ugly with my cobblestone. I didn't mention this earlier in the video, but I love cobblestone and torches, as you can see. Most of my base is made out of cobblestone, and my main is torches for the most part. And yeah, I call it Kobblestone Kingdom, and yeah, I just love cobblestone. I don't know what it is. It's easy to get, and so that's why I use it. I have family and a full-time job, so whatever I can use to gather easy materials, that's what I do. So yeah. If I come through this portal, this is
is to the other side of the base, or the side of the base that has the zoo. So this way, my spawn location is over there. If I go this way, I do have a witch farm. Again, I have my rails that connect up to most of the stuff in my road that leads back to my base. I do have a witch farm here that I use. Over this way, I also have a raid farm. One of my friends on the server went ahead and set that up. And we have that. I'm not even sure if that works anymore. It's been a long time since I used it. Coming this way, the rail does connect out to. This was a village, and I've kind of added a little bit onto it. This is just a village out here. I don't even have any villagers in it, so I gotta add them in. If I come this way and go into come into this pyramid here, I do have just a single gold farm. It's in here, and it goes down underneath, and there's item sorter, and that's where I get a lot of my XP from, which I'm okay for now. So yeah, I gathered that. This is the village I mentioned earlier where the world spawn used to be. Here, and then for some reason it turned into that for a little bit, and then when that stopped working and it switched to over here for some reason, that is back to the world spawn. And yeah, that's just a bunch of the stuff I've been working on off and on throughout the years for 6 years. Like I said, a lot of unfinished projects, but yeah, that's my world. It's been pretty crazy, but I'll continue to work on it and hopefully get better and finish up a lot of projects at some point. So yeah, that's my world tour. Thank you, everybody. If you could, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And thank you guys.